Hello friends, how are you today? My name is Mary and I am doing good. It is Monday and in the afternoon I am going to start diamond painting, and I think my next little tiny snack size project is going to be this butterfly. I want to get all three of the styles that I purchased finished, and the one that I put on that black canvas turned out pretty nice. So this was one of those canvas boards that I showed you in my last video. I got 3 in a package at Michael's for $6.99. And what I did was I put some, actually I didn't have all my glue here at the house, so I just put some crafter's glue that I had at the house when I was doing projects with the kids. I put some super glue and I put a little glue dot at the corner of each, at each corner, and it stuck on really well. I then took washi tape and I put it around the sides just to give it a little, I guess, oomph, because it looked kind of plain with just the black frame. And I was thinking about putting it in a glass frame, a regular frame on this canvas board, but I might not do that. I might just leave it as is. I like it. I mean, it's kind of unusual. It's got a skinny border now, but it's okay, for a Dollartree, $1.25, little painting. So, oh, and I did seal around the edges with my diamond painting sealer so that the tape wouldn't lift, but I didn't seal this because it is such a strong glue, such a good stick, that these diamonds I'm not worried about these diamonds falling off. So I will be taking that to my party, which I just put the invitation out in my neighborhood. I'm really excited about it. And now I've got to buckle down and get everything arranged and together for what I'm going to be showing them. So this is the butterfly, the Crafter Square from Dollar Tree. There's a photo of it, and here's a diamond painting of it. And I did see on one of my diamond painting Facebook groups it finished. A couple people had finished this and posted, and it looks really good. So here we go. Again, it's on like a cardboard, like a poster, not a poster, but like a postcard. And it has the plastic sheet that you would remove so that you could diamond paint. It is really sticky, guys. Not complaining. Yeah, it's stuck to my finger. Let me take a look and see. Now these have the letters in white for the most part. So for the most part, except the purple and the green, those might be a little bit hard to see down here, but not as bad as the black. The black, they did the white letters on the black background, so I am really excited about that. The purple, a little bit hard to see the purple. There's a reflection off this card. But because it's purple, I know that that's probably the color that I need to look for. Everything else, the blue looks legible, the pink looks legible. So no light board, which light boards won't shine through this cardboard, but what else do we have? We have the instructions, and it gives a little key right here. And of course we have this. And let's see how many colors. Okay, these are not numbered, they're alphabetical to N. So they are in, or not really in order. A, K, C, E, M, S, J, H, P, and N. That's okay. I I can put them in order when I organize them into my little bottles. But these are the colors. Well, let me turn it this way. Of course, there's no ABs, but I can always add some of my Diamond Dots ABs if I want to. So a nice variety of colors. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 colors for this butterfly. So that is what I'm going to work on. Set it over here. And I don't need the instructions. Put the boat. Now, you know what I'm using these green boats for? I was sealing those planter sticks, those stakes with the little doodads on them. I have the flower, the bumblebee, and a couple others. I can't even think off the top of my head what else, but I was sealing them, and I put a little bit of sealer, you know, it's liquid, into one of these boats, and then I was just sealing the tops of the planters right out of the boat. And I thought, well, there you go. You can pour your sealer in there and use it as like a cup. So that was handy. So I'm going to get started on this, do a little whip and chat, and cover this in parchment paper at the top because I like to start at the bottom. I'm going to grab a piece of parchment paper. Okay. It's in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Or maybe, I think I threw in a couple of these release papers, so I'll probably use these release papers because they are a little bit, they're exactly the same width, so they must be 6 inches. And so that's what I'm doing there. And I'm going to work in this section, and then the middle section, and then the top section. They're pretty quick and easy to do. And I'm going to put this one as well as the tulip on the black canvas board too. So I'll have all of them on the same type of framing. I have not framed my hydrangea yet. You know, I showed you the purple duck tape. And I'm laughing because that's kind of a joke with one of my commenters. And I haven't really, oh, I gotta find my scissors. Oh, I know where they are. Okay, what jars am I gonna use? What containers? I think I'll just use these. I got my 60 set of these little trays with lids. And it comes with the stand or the cabinet that they fit into. And I have to remember how these open. How do they? Oh, they lift. I'm squeezing the sides and they just lift. So I love these because they have the grid. And you know, like I had shown you, I can lay it on top of my light up tray so that I could see the drills really clear. And I did just charge this, so it is pretty bright. So I'm going to start with A. And as far as labels go, I haven't even gotten out my supplies yet to label these. These are going to be really easy to kit up because you just pour them into the tray. You don't have to worry about being real careful to try to get it into a tiny spout or a tiny little hole. So I need to see if I can remember where I put my labels so I can label this A. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll just be lazy and I'll cut the A off this and I will just put it on the tray. Put a little piece of tape. That way I don't have to get up and move away from the camera. And this is going to be a really quick job. So these go sideways. Okay. So I want to put it where I can see it. And I think I'll use a glue dot. No. Yeah, I think I'll put them on with a glue dot. Why not? Why not? I'm sure it'll pull off all right when the time comes to take it off. I hope. Okay, where is the A? Oh, lost it. Here it is. I really don't need a whole glue dot, but I'll use it. Okay, so I'll shut the lid so they don't spill out. Let's see, they go that way, so I'll put the A on the top. So it's hard for you to see in the camera because of the lighting, but I can see it. So we got our first one, A. Let me do C next. C, C, C. All right. Okay. It's a new week. The guys are out there doing my driveway right now. They've been out there since about 9:30. I'm not sure how long it'll take them to finish the job, but I imagine we won't be able to park on it for a day or two, even if they do finish it today. All right, I'm cutting out my C. I have a refrigerator in my room just for beverages and stuff, and my dog's farmer's dog food for the day. And it just sometimes makes the weirdest noises, like right now. I don't know if you can hear it. I also have bird TV going. All right, so we got the C. Okay. This E is next. I keep wanting to squeeze these. It's a pop-up. You just flip it up. I like this pink. And there is quite a bit of, well, yeah, there's the pink flowers. Ooh, they gave me a lot. Lots of pink. This is E. These glue dots are super sticky. They stick to everything, including my fingers and my nails. Okay, so I want to put them all in the same spot pretty much. Okay, it's working out good. I like E, F, G, H. There's H. Actually, I could just move these around and put them in order. I don't have to cut them out in order. I didn't think of that till just now. Pretty blue, like a turquoise blue. No static, but these are acrylic drills. They're not resin. And I'm realizing with dry mounting, if you can tell the person that will be dry mounting, it might not be possible to use a lower heat, because, and talking with people on Facebook, they, I don't know what's on my hand, they said that the resin drills won't be affected by the heat, but the acrylic drills can be affected and can, excuse me, and can melt, which I think I experienced that with my hydrangea because remember I was telling you they look so flat? I think that that is because they're not resin drills. It's a budget company, and so they probably wouldn't have flattened out like that if the heat wasn't so high. But you can still dry mount them. You know, they didn't ruin it at all. It still has some sparkle. It still has some shine. But it did take a little bit of the shine away, and it did make them flatter. So that high heat. Okay, doing some green, getting up. A lot of green in this package. I slept so good. I went to bed early for me. I'm a night owl. So I went to bed at 10:30 and I woke up at 6:30 and I really had a lot of sleep. And I don't think I woke up at all during the night. Toby didn't get me up like he sometimes does to go potty at midnight. And sometimes he doesn't have to go out, but he just wakes up. He's got insomnia sometimes, and he walks the floor and he sits on the chair and he stares at me. Did I? Oh, wait, what am I doing? I cut this out, but I don't see where I put it. This green one. This green one. Let me see. The green one is J. And I don't know what I did with the J. Let's see. Can I toss it in here without cutting it? Well, that's a problem. Oh, J. Okay, yeah, I tossed it in there. So if you're doing this, probably pay attention to what you're doing. If you're making your own labels, like with labels and a pen or a marker, that'd be a little different. But when you're cutting these things off the bags, you don't want to throw away the bag before you cut it off. But anyway, so Toby was good. He slept sound. He didn't wake up that I know of. And when he wakes up, I usually wake up. I'm not a very sound sleeper. Okay, so the J. Oh, where'd it go now? Boy, this J just wants to run away. Okay. And he ate so good this is Toby I'm talking about. He ate so good the last 3 days. I was amazed. And then today he's not eating. But you know what? There's a pattern there. So I'm not worried about it. His food is waiting for him whenever he's hungry. It's up to him. He knows that he's got food. I'm home all day today, unlike tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to bingo. And then I'm going to pick up my grandson from there. And then I've got my grandson Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, only till 3 on Thursday, 3 or 4. And then, oh gosh, I'm cutting this before I'm trying to get a step ahead of myself. And then on Friday, he comes back to us for the weekend. So that's good. And he's got a birthday party. His cousin who lives in Orlando is having a birthday party. So he's going to be gone Friday and Saturday because they're going to go spend the night. And so he's excited. Some stuff to look forward to. I'm excited about my upcoming diamond painting party. The second one of hopefully many. We're doing it on a monthly basis, once a month. It'll be a small canvas, or if they want a large canvas, I will have both. But I will tell them in this party that next month we may do an off canvas if they want. They don't have to. They can bring their whips and they can work on whatever they want. But I'll have that option for them if they want to try an off canvas, which would be the little trinket boxes. And some may want to do it, some may not. MNOP. And there was another Facebook post. It was kind of interesting. Someone started it and said that they lived in Florida, in either Melbourne or Cocoa Beach. And if you live close by, they said, let's get together and diamond paint together. And I was shocked at how many people live in Florida. Of course, a lot of them are in different counties and different towns, but some of them are like 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away, which is a little far, but not, real far. And I found that dot. It's on my fingernail. I couldn't find it. I'm telling you, these dots, they're really sticky. Anyway, someone said that they were in Vero Beach, and that's where I am. And so I responded and I said, hey, I live in Vero Beach too, and I have diamond parties at the clubhouse here in my neighborhood. You're welcome to join us. And I said, I'll go ahead and send you a messenger message on your messenger about, the time and the place. Because she had then responded, oh, I would love to go. And so I messaged her. She messaged me back. And I told her she could bring her husband. And she was excited. So I said, just let me know the day before if you're coming. So, I'm sure I have enough supplies. But she's a diamond painter. So, she can bring her own tools if she wants. And the canvas she's working on. Or she can pick one out from my stash, which is quite all right. So I thought that was pretty interesting to meet somebody on Facebook that lives in your town. And I took a look at her Facebook page because it's not private. And I don't think she lives that far from me, honestly. From a couple of the places that she mentioned that she was at, like where her and her husband had stopped to get gas and there was an oil leak on the road, and her husband unfortunately slipped in it and fell and hurt himself. And it was at a place that I recognize and drive by all the time. So she's probably pretty close by. Make a new diamond painting friend. Okay, the next diamond dot. The next glue dot. Glue dot, diamond dot. We're going to shut this case in a minute after I get that glue dot off my thumb. Okay. And okay. Oh, I don't like things crooked. Okay. And 2 more to go, folks. 2 more. It's kind of quiet outside. I wonder if the guys are taking a lunch. They were pretty noisy earlier. Come on, let go. There you go. Like I said, there's no static. That one got caught in the crack of the corner, but they're spilling out really nice. I don't know if it's because of the low humidity in the house with the AC running cold. Oh, let go. These little, when you cut the little baggies that the drills come in, and you cut little squares off of them, they're so staticky. The paper itself doesn't want to let go of my finger. The orange, there's not really much orange in here at all. Well, that's all the orange there is. If you could see through the cover. Not too many. Okay. Where's my butterfly? I don't even see any orange on the picture. That's kind of funny. It's not this part right here that looks kind of orange. This is red. Oh, I see the orange up here. Those few little diamonds right up there. I did have enough drills from the mountain scene that I did. I call it the mountain stream. I had drills left over, and I won't say a lot of drills because they don't give you a lot, but I didn't run out, and I drop them on the floor, and I'm kind of messy, so I know for a fact that I lost several. P. And the last one is S, and it's a dark green, like an emerald green color. Eek. Forgot to open this first. When I was out at 6:30 this morning walking Dottie, there are so many of those blackbirds teaching their babies how to fly, and they're feeding them on the sidewalk. I guess they come out real early in the morning and do that with their young, but it was so cute to see the little babies running over to the mommy or daddy, I don't know which, opening their mouth and her pulling stuff out of the grass and feeding it to them. And I was worried that maybe the little one didn't know how to fly. It had its feathers, but I kind of held Dottie back because I didn't want to scare the baby or the mother. And when we took a few steps towards them, the mother flew off and the baby flew off too. So they are flying. They're just still, for as long as they can, having their mamas feed them. I like birds. Okay, there we go. S is the last one, so we got 10. 10 all set, ready to go. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Maybe take a diamond dot or a glue dot out in case I need it for my pen. Okay. And get my tray. There we go. Unstick, unstick, unstick. Okay. So finally I can diamond paint now. Get this little thing started. Where's my pen? Oh, right here. Have no fear. All right. Oh, I don't need my tray because I have them already in trays. So, don't need the tray. Let's see what color I want to start with. I am going to flip my little light on. No, actually, well, I have to be able to see. I'll be able to see my drills, but I also want to be able to see my canvas, which I need my little moonlight here, half moon. Get myself set up there. All right, I think I'm gonna turn that down a little, adjust it dimmer. I don't need it that strong. Let me see if I can switch it to, that might be better. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And I have an eye doctor appointment scheduled, but they couldn't fit me in until July. But I can wait. I've waited this long. So I'm gonna probably need glasses because it's been years since I've had my glasses changed. And I am having more and more difficulty seeing. So I'm excited about that. And my daughter was laughing at me because I was telling her, you know, I love my sunglasses so much. But I told her, I said, you know how old these sunglasses are? And she's like, well, I know you had them before you moved into your townhouse, which was over 7 years ago. And I said, yeah. And I said, I got them when Grandma was alive, when my mom was alive, and we went to the eye doctor together. And she was like, what? That was like, well, my mom passed away in 2017, but it was when she lived with me, when she had to have surgery, which was 2007 and 2008. So that's how I remember when I got my sunglasses that I still wear every day. They're loose though, and I catch my finger in the little hinge all the time, which is annoying. But I love those sunglasses. There's nothing special about them. They're comfortable, and other than that, they're not really designer or anything like that. They're just, I like the shape of them. And I'm almost tempted to say just put new lenses in them, but they are starting to look pretty worn, and you know, they just look very worn out. There's not much they can do about that. I'm getting some glue dot, but when you load your pen, and you don't use the glue dots necessarily, I don't, in the multi-placer, but in the single placer, you have to get like the most tiniest speck, because if you get too much, it's going to pull out. It's not going to stay in. This glue dot is just sticking all over. Okay, so I can't see it. I've got to feel it. No, I guess I didn't get any. But I mean, you've got to get the tiniest amount. So tiny. And it'll last. If you get the right amount in your pen, it will last. I could go 2 or 3 days without having to reload my pen if I get it right. Which I'm not doing too well right now. I think this is going to be too big. I think it is. I'll be able to tell. If it doesn't push in far enough, oh, I see where that little piece went. Everything's sticking to my nail. All right, let me see. I'm going to push it down on my jeans, see if it comes out. No, it stayed in. Gets a little fuzz on it, makes it even better when it's not so sticky. Okay, now we can work. Nope, it must have pulled out. Yeah, it did. It pulled out. It is tricky. Sometimes I can get it on the first time, but of course while I'm not filming, but videotaping, of course, push down on something that doesn't pull it out. Okay. There we go. All that interruption, I just lost my train of thought, but that's okay. We'll just move on. I ate my lunch and it was so good. I had gotten from Target these raw chicken patties that they seasoned with Parmesan cheese and I don't know what else, but they have the best flavor, and all you do is, it says to bake them 10 minutes on each side at 425. But I'm one of those crazy people that likes everything well done. So I baked it 15 minutes for the first side, and then it looked really pretty done. And then I turned it over and baked it 5 minutes on the other side. And they actually around the edges it was a little bit black and crispy, which I like. And it wasn't burnt, but oh man, it's so good. It took everything for me not to get a second one because I'm really trying to watch my portions. And then I had some green beans with it today, and it was very satisfying. Trying to eat lower carbs, but it's so hard when you love potato chips and corn chips and pasta and potatoes and beans, which, beans are high in carbs, but they're really good for you. And anyway, I'm trying to be better. Some days I do better than others, and that's good. That's progress. I like to get out early and walk before the sun is up or before it gets too hot. So it was beautiful at 6:30 this morning. Oh my gosh. I could have walked forever. Little Dottie was so happy because I took a long walk with her and didn't cut it short right after just circling the tennis courts. And after she potties, taken her right in, we just walked the neighborhood and walked until the sun started getting hot. And then we came back. It was probably like 7:45 when we came back. We walked a long time. We stopped and talked a couple short, brief, hello, good mornings, how are you? Talked about our dogs because, we have a lot of dog walkers in the neighborhood. But most of that time we were walking. And it's a good time to say your morning prayers too, because you're out in nature, God's creation, and I try to remember everybody on my prayer list, but then I know that God knows who in my heart I want to pray for if I forget someone. I do try my best to remember everybody, and I've got some family members I'm praying for. Their health is not the greatest. But just pray and hope that the healing is quick and the healing is thorough, I'm working on the J's, and it's the green. And I'm just taking my time. Just relaxing. And I really want to get back to my Chuck Pinson. I'm actually missing that big painting. But I need to knock out a couple of these small projects first. And then I'll get back to the island life and hopefully finish it. I'm a little more than halfway done with it, so Um, I would say it would take me another 3 to 4 weeks to finish it because it is really, really huge. But I love it. And after working on these budget ones, I know when I go back to that one, which is a premium company painting, you just notice the difference. I know my grandson's going to want to work on his lizard or his chameleon. He's probably missing it. So we'll make time this week for him to work on that while I work on whatever I'm doing at the time. So that'll be fun. And I want to take him somewhere on one of the days for him to be out and about having fun. We'll probably try to go pet the kitties again at that animal rescue and hope that we're timing it right, that there's enough help so that they can let him go back. They have to supervise, so there has to be someone to let him into the room and just keep an eye out on things. But they know him. He's been there a lot, and they trust him. He's so good with animals. And he's got to go get a tooth filled next Monday, which he's kind of aware of what that entails, and he's a little nervous about it. It's one of his baby teeth. So, but he is going to get his teeth sealed in a fluoride treatment. His sister had hers done last week or the week before last. So she was really good. Being 3 years old, having that stuff done, that fluoride treatment tastes yucky. But she didn't mind it at all. She was busy watching Peppa Pig on the ceiling. They put headphones on them, and then they turn the TV, I guess some TV screen on the ceiling, and lean them back and work on their teeth while they let them watch TV. So I think that's a great idea. I mean, they're not really thinking about what's happening in their mouth unless, of course, something hurts. But she didn't mind any of it, my daughter said. And she knew she was going to get candies and a sticker, or stickers and candy, one piece of candy. Candy from the dentist, right? But anyway, she was looking so forward to that because she's been there once before, just for her checkup. When I was young, my mom had a lot of kids. We only went to the dentist, and I know a lot of you probably the same, when we had a toothache. So all of my sisters and brothers, we have a mouthful of silver fillings, which some of my silver fillings had to come out. And my dentist replaced them with the white composite fillings. But she said that she wasn't going to take them all out. I mean, I think I have 3 or 4 left. But just as needed, like when the tooth starts to crack or the filling cracks or whatever happens after all these years, then she replaces it. And I know a lot of people get them replaced, get them all out, and they get the white fillings because silver fillings aren't the best for your mouth. But that's what they did back then. It was silver or gold. No white, no composite. I was the first one in Florida for an experimental dental procedure. I was 11 or 12 years old. They had to pull a tooth, and because my teeth were bad, and they did a tooth transplant, and that is still bizarre to me. It was bizarre back then. And so what they did was they immediately, when they pulled the tooth, this is really bizarre, they put another tooth about the same size, which was not my tooth, okay? They put someone else's tooth in there. I guess it must have been a healthy tooth. And then they made like a little, it looked like a piece of bubble gum that formed around your tooth, but it hardened. So it was like a casing that went over the tooth and up over the gum and held it in place. And the dentist said, don't brush on that side for 2 days. Let it calm down, and let's see if that your body will accept it and not reject it. So I only brushed on one side. He told me not to take that off and to come back in 3 days, and they would clean my tooth and they would take it off and they would check it out. Well, I don't remember it being painful, but I remember watching TV with my family, and it was either the very first night or maybe it was the second night. I don't remember. But I was watching TV, and that pink thing that was around my tooth had slipped off. So I was trying to put it back on, and it wouldn't go back on. And maybe not even 5 minutes later, the tooth just fell out. It just fell right into my lap. So my mom called the dentist the next morning, and I went to see the dentist again. I had to ride my bike to the dentist because my mom never drove, and my dad worked 2 jobs. And so we went to a dentist that was in walking distance from our house. But, I rode my bike. And I remember riding my bike up there and thinking, please don't put that tooth back in my mouth. And it was just so weird. And the doctor said, yeah, your body rejected it. It's not going to work. So to this day, like my teeth shifted a little tiny bit, but I don't have a tooth there. I never had a bridge or anything like that. But they did say that I was the first one to experiment with. Let's see, so that would have been like 1971 or 1972. So the technology was nowhere near what it is today, and the equipment and the knowledge and all that wasn't quite what it is today. He was a nice dentist. And then the dentist office was right next to Charlie's Bakery. So my mom would always say, when you come out of the dentist, go to Charlie's Bakery and, get me a kuchen, which is like a coffee cake, but that's what she called it. And there was a Winn-Dixie and an Eagle Army Navy and a Liggett Rexall drugstore, all in the same shopping plaza. So a lot of times she would send us up to the store, my sisters and I. We all had a basket on our bike, and she would give us each a shopping list, and we did the grocery shopping. So we would make 2 or 3 trips too, many times, because we were a big family and my mom needed a lot of food. So she would always have one of us go into Charlie's Bakery and get rye bread or get something sweet, get a pie. My mom baked a lot, so she did a lot of her own pies and stuff, but she loved that bakery. And it was there for years, even after we moved. I remember my mom telling me, oh yeah, it's still there. It was being run by the second generation of the family. Don't think it's there now, but it might be. I haven't been back to my old neighborhood in years. It was Orlando. That's where I grew up and lived there for most of my life, really. Well, let me think. We moved from Ohio, Cleveland in 1969, and then I lived in Orlando until 2000. And then 2000 till now, I've lived over on the southeast coast. So most of my childhood was Orlando. And my dad worked at Disney. So did my brother, my aunt, my uncle. Lots of my family members did. And that's where I retired. It was kind of a Disney family, that's for sure. And now my son-in-law works there. My daughter worked there for a while too, but she got into the medical field. She didn't want to work there for very long. She had her aspirations, and she likes taking care of people. So that's good. Okay, I think I thought I had all the J's, but I'm just kind of skipping in that whole section. What I like to do is do a section, whether it's a small section or a large section, and do all that color first. And you always miss some, but I know I always miss some. But I'll do all the J's, and then I'll move on to my next symbol, number, or letter, and do all that color. And so I work in sections, but I work by color. Ooh, I just looked at the time and I have been gabbing for 52 minutes. I thank you guys if you're still here with me. And I hope that you have a good day today. I hope the weather is good for you and you can get out and enjoy a little bit of the sunshine or whatever the weather is that you're having. And I'll be back probably tomorrow with something else. I'm not sure what, but in the meantime, have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.